In the midst of our chaotic existence, there is great wisdom to be found in the straightforward but effective instruction to be still. These two words inspire us to find a place of refuge within ourselves and have a message that cuts through the commotion of the outside world. Be still is a cry to peace amidst the chaos of liabilities, deadlines, and the never-ending demands of modern life. It's a reminder to take a moment to relax, take a deep breath, and find inner peace again. We get the chance to think, refuel, and regain balance amid the silence. Being still is a condition of mind and spirit rather than a physical state of inactivity. It's about letting go of the stress, stilling the inner attacks, and accepting a mindful moment. We may hear the whispers of our own hearts in the silence, sometimes picking up on insights that the outside world might be too loud to hear. We rediscover our own strength in this silence. It's a place where we may examine our objectives, reassess our priorities, and set off on a path that is consistent with our core beliefs. The silence turns into an empty space that we can use to paint our hopes and desires, free from the distractions that frequently sway us in different directions. Be still is a remedy for the tension and worry that sometimes consume us. It serves as a reminder that calmness may be strong even in the face of adversity. We can develop courage, endurance, and a steady soul that can withstand life's adversities by embracing quiet. So, when life's hectic pace calls for it, remember to be still. You might discover in the silence the serenity that has been quietly waiting inside of you the entire time, as well as the fortitude to overcome obstacles and the motivation to follow your dreams. Storms in life are a natural and inevitable part of being human. The storms of life are made up of unforeseen obstacles, turbulent situations, and unexpected challenges that we face every step of the way from the minute we set out on our journey through existence. The unexpected changes in circumstances that can bring happiness, prosperity, suffering, or misfortune can affect everyone. Storms can appear in many forms such as relationship, professional, personal, or health-related. These difficulties might be anything from little setbacks to significant life-changing experiences. Every storm has its own lessons, and people must rely on their own inner fortitude and resources. Unquestionably, life's storms have an emotional cost. The difficulties we encounter can be accompanied by fear, anxiety, sadness, or even despair. Adversity has the ability to bring our inner fortitude, resiliency, and endurance to light. People often find aspects of themselves that they may not have otherwise known when they confront and overcome obstacles. In the midst of life's uncertainty, the profound and consoling truth of God's sovereignty offers stability and peace. God's steadfast control over the entire creation is affirmed by His sovereignty. It implies that nothing happens without His awareness, consent, or authority. In turbulent and chaotic times, this promise serves as a rock-solid reminder to believers that God is not surprised by what happens in the world. The certainty of God's omnipotence comes from the confidentiality of God. His constancy in justice, wisdom, and love provide a solid basis for confidence. Believers can have faith that God's ultimate plan is one of ultimate victory, restoration, and redemption even in the face of hardship. His objectives goes beyond the present moment, knowing that God hears and answers their prayers as a loving and omnipotent Father gives believers comfort. People who trust in God's sovereignty are able to surrender to His perfect timing and wisdom, even when solutions seem delayed or depart from expected outcomes. In the midst of life's uncertainty, the knowledge of God's sovereignty offers a profound sense of serenity. Knowing that God is in charge reduces fear and worry and promotes composure and confidence in the face of difficulties. The knowledge that God is sovereign over people's salvation is essential to the assurance of His sovereignty. Believers can have faith that God's redemptive work is completed through the saving work of Jesus Christ, that His grace is sufficient, and that His forgiveness is total. The knowledge of God's sovereignty acts as a soul anchor throughout times of adversity, confusion, or difficulty. It encourages Christians to let go of their worries because they know that they are in the capable and compassionate hands of a God whose omnipotence spans all of eternity. In the path of faith, this assurance becomes a source of strength, hope, and steadfast trust. The Bible is full of stories that clearly show God's omnipotence even in the face of calamities. These stories not only show God's dominion over the elements, but also how He can work in the midst of difficulty to lead, protect, and accomplish His divine purposes. Here are a few noteworthy biblical instances. Exodus 14. In the Red Sea crossing. The Israelites are stuck between the impenetrable Red Sea and the pursuing Egyptian army after fleeing slavery in Egypt. The Red Sea is parted by God in the exercise of His sovereignty, enabling the Israelites to pass across on dry land. Then, in a display of His mastery over nature, He shuts the waters on the fleeing Egyptians, saving His people from their oppressors. Jonah tries to escape God's summons to Nineveh boarding a ship in Jonah and the Storm. Jonah 1. A massive storm forms and poses a threat to the ship. Jonah was found to be the storm's source when the sailors used lots to decide what caused it. Jonah gives them the order to cast him into the sea, acknowledging God's power. This causes the storm to stop and a large fish to come to Jonah's aid. Jesus calms storm. Mark chapter 4 verse 35 to 41. A terrible storm breaks out as Jesus and His followers are on a boat on the Sea of Galilee. Jesus demonstrates His dominion over nature by rebuking the wind and telling the sea to be calm. He challenges His disciples' beliefs, pointing them that even the elements are subject to law. Acts 27. Paul's shipwreck. Paul, a prisoner, is sailing to Rome aboard a ship. The ship runs into Euroclydon, a powerful storm. Paul sees an angel in the middle of the storm, telling him that everyone on board would be okay. The fact that everyone makes it to shore safely despite the ship being sunk highlights God's protection and control over the course of events. The illnesses of Job. Job 1-2. Job, a righteous man, suffers from a number of misfortunes, including the loss of his family, health, and belongings. God permits Satan to test Job, showcasing His sovereignty even in the midst of suffering. Despite the difficulties, Job retains his faith, and in the end, God restores his fortunes. In prison, Paul and Silas. Acts 16 verses 22 to 26. Philippi is the site of Paul and Silas' wrongful imprisonment. They worship God while they sing songs in the cell's darkness. In response to their worship, God, shaking the prison's foundations, opens the doors and sends a powerful earthquake. After seeing God's might in action, the jailer and his family become believers. There is a peaceful haven that calls to us among the tumult and bustle of daily life. This serenity is beyond the capacity of reason. It's a calmness that holds true even in the chaos of the outside world. Accepting the calmness that is beyond comprehension is a call to find a place inside. There is a holy place in our souls where peace and confidence reign despite the raging storms outside. We discover peace, discernment, and a calmness that outlasts the chaos of the outside world in this refuge. Making the deliberate decision to surrender is what it means to accept this exceptional calm. It is a putting away of the demand for continual control and a letting go of the weights that are weighing our souls down. By surrendering, we allow ourselves to be open to a heavenly peace that is unbounded by our limited understanding and flows like a river. A strong belief in the power of God lies at the foundation of this calmness. It's an admission that something greater is going on, that there's a kind power composing life's perfect pieces. Believing in divine providence provides stability and calm during turbulent times, acting as an anchor in the storm. Without explanation, ease serves as a barrier against fear. This calmness serves as a protector, reassuring us that we don't have to let the unknowns of the future devour us in a world where anxiety frequently takes hold of the heart. It is a reassurance that each and every thread is precisely woven with a purpose in the immense fabric of life. Imagine a calm pond in the middle of a busy city, the water peaceful despite everything going on around it. In the same way, a peace that is beyond comprehension provides a sense of calmness amidst the chaos of existence. It is a peace inside that is unaffected by noise outside, a source of solace amidst life's chaos. This peace is a gift that defies reason and logic. It is a supernatural mercy to be accepted rather than a mathematical problem to be solved. We experience peace that transcends human comprehension when we surrender to the never-ending search for understanding and let this gift encompass us. By accepting a calmness that is beyond our comprehension, we set out on a holy internal adventure where faith, yielding, and divine providence blend to produce a peaceful melody. It is a call to slumber in the knowledge that, even beyond the realm of our comprehension, there is a serenity that remains a stable cornerstone in the terrain of faith. I hereby pray that the ability to be still and calm in the face of chaos will be granted unto us in Jesus' name.